Hello and welcome to all of you. My name is Atiq Ahmed and today I'm going to teach you the chapter Polynomial. Since this is a very important chapter and this is a class 9 chapter, so very important for the exam perspective. So first we will understand the basic concept of this chapter, then we will do some questions related to this topic. Okay, so first of all, let us understand what is the meaning of polynomial. So students, first of all, poly means many and nomials means terms. Now what is the meaning of terms? We will understand it later, but for now we will understand what are the polynomials. Okay, now before understanding it, let us understand what is constant and what is variable. Now students, if there is any number like 10, okay, any random number, 10 or -2 or let's say 100, so any number is a constant. Why? Because the value of that number is not going to be changed. So that is why if there is any number, it is considered as constant. On the other hand, if any alphabet is given, for example x or y or a, so all these are variable. Okay, why? Because the value of these alphabet may be vary. That is why we call it as variable. But for example, if any number is given with any variable, for example 2x, it means 2 multiply by x. So now 2x is constant or variable? This is a question. So now 2x not a constant, it is a variable. Okay, so the thing is, whenever a constant is in multiply or in divide or in addition or in subtraction, means a constant is with a variable, so it becomes a variable itself. I think it is clear now. So if any number is given, it is constant. If any alphabet is given, it is variable. But if any number is given with the variable or with alphabet, so it becomes variable. For example, 2 plus x, this is also a variable. Okay, now students, we have understood what are constant and what are variables. So first, now we are going to study about the coefficient. Okay, so for example, any polynomial is given to you, for example 2xy. Okay, so this is 2xy where x and y are variable and 2 is constant. So if I ask you what is the coefficient of xy, okay, what is the coefficient of xy, then I want to ask you that what is in multiply with xy. So what you have to do in order to find the coefficient of xy, you just have to remove x and y. Whatever is left is the coefficient. Okay, so here the coefficient of xy is 2. Now again, in the same question 2xy, if I ask you what is the variable of, sorry, what is the coefficient of y, okay, what is the coefficient of y, so in order to find the coefficient of y, we have to remove y from it. So what is left? 2x. So 2x is the variable, 2x is the coefficient of y. Okay, so 2x is coefficient of y. So what you have to do basically, if you want to find the coefficient, you have to remove that particular variable or constant in order to find its coefficient. Okay, for example, let us say the question is asking what is the coefficient of 5x in 5xyz. So we have to find the coefficient of 5x now. So you have to remove 5x. What is left? YZ. YZ is left. So the coefficient of 5x, you will write the coefficient of 5x in 5xyz is yz. So basically yz is your coefficient in 5xyz. Okay, so in this way we are going to find the coefficient in the given polynomials. Now we are going to understand the terms. As I have told you, I will tell it later what are the terms in polynomial. So students, for example, I'm going to write a polynomial like 5x square plus 2x plus 3. Okay, this is a polynomial. Now, how many terms are there in this polynomial? If you look at it closely, so you will find that there are 3 terms. Term number 1, this is the first term. Okay, okay, now this is the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. So how are we going to differentiate the terms? So we can differentiate the terms with plus and minus sign. Okay, with plus and minus sign. For example, 5x cube minus 2x plus 3. Now here also we are having 3 terms. Term number 1, term number 2, and this is the third term. Fine. So here we are going to differentiate the terms with plus or minus sign. Now students, if I ask you how many terms are there in this polynomial, so some people will say there are 2 terms, 1 and 2, but actually there is only 1 term. Why? Because I have told you we can differentiate the terms with plus and minus sign only. Now here you are having division sign. So division sign does not separate 2 terms. So basically this is 1 term. Okay, for example, there is one more example and you will understand more by this example. 5x cube multiplied by 9. So how many terms are there? So here also we are having 1 term only, because we cannot differentiate the terms with the multiply sign. Okay, so basically we are going to differentiate the terms with plus and minus sign. I hope it is clear now. Now we are going to study about the degree of the polynomial. Okay, degree of polynomials. So students, I'm going to write an example for you. 5x square plus 3x plus 2. So what is the degree of this polynomial? Basically, there are 3 terms in this polynomial and we are interested to find the degree. What is degree? Basically, the highest power of variable in polynomial. Okay, the highest power. So can you tell me what is the highest power of the variable in this polynomial? If we look at this term, so the highest power of this variable, which is x, is 2. And here the power of x is 1. And here the power is x is 0, because there is no variable, so the power of variable is 0. Okay, so what is the highest power? The highest power is 2. So we will say that the degree of this polynomial is 2. Degree of this polynomial is 2. Okay, now look at one more example. Let's say 50 x raised to power 4 plus 15y plus 3x square plus 2. Okay, so now you have to tell the degree. What is the degree of this polynomial? So as you can see in this term, because there are 4 terms now in this polynomial, and in this term the degree of the polynomial, sorry, the degree of this variable, the highest degree is 4. Here the degree of y is 1. Here the degree of this x is 2. As I have told you, degree is what? The power, the highest power. Okay, and here the degree is 0. So what is the highest degree? Highest degree is 4. So of course the degree of this polynomial, sorry, the degree of this polynomial is 4. Okay, now let us see one more example. What you will do when more than one variable is given in the single term. For example, 5x square y cube plus 3xy plus 5x. Now tell me the degree of this polynomial. So in order to find the degree, what you have to do, as you can see, how many terms are there in this polynomial? There are 3 terms. Okay, there are 3 terms. So what is the degree of this particular term? So in order to find the degree of this term, we have to add the powers of the variable. Here the power of x is 2 and the power of y is 3. So we have to add the powers of these variables. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay. Now, what is the degree of this term? The power of x is 1 and the power of y is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And here, the power of this x is 1. So what is the highest degree now? The highest degree is, sorry, what is the highest power of these terms? So as we can see here, the highest power is 5 of the first term. So the degree of this polynomial is 5. Okay, so when more than one variable is given in any particular term, then we are going to find the degree by adding the powers of the variable. I hope it is clear now. Next, we are going to understand the zeros of the polynomial, which is very, very important topic in this chapter. Okay, so let us understand what is zeros of polynomials. So students, suppose we are given a polynomial, for example 5x square plus 2x plus 3. Okay, this is a polynomial, and let's say the name of this polynomial is px, or we say it that p is a function of x. Okay, basically we call it that the p is a function of x because this polynomial has only one variable, which is x. So we call it px simply. Now we are interested to know what is the zeros of polynomial. So basically zeros is of a polynomial, or if I say the zero of this polynomial is the value of x, is that value of x for which the value of this whole polynomial is 0. Okay, for example, can we find the value of this polynomial for different values of x? Let us understand this, how to do this. For example, if I find the value of this polynomial for x is equal to 1, okay, so what I'm going to do is I will write 1 instead of x. Okay, so p1, it means the value of this polynomial for the value x is equal to 1. So 5 multiply by 1 square plus 2 into 1 plus 3. What I have done, I have written 1 instead of x in this polynomial. So P1 is equal to 5 into 1 square is 1 plus 2 into 1 is 2 plus 3. So 5 into 1 is 5, 5 plus 2 plus 3, 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10. So the value of this polynomial for x is equal to 1 is 10. Okay, so we will say that 1 is not the zeros of the polynomial. Why? Because I have told you the value of that x for which the value of the polynomial will be 0. Here the value is not 0. That is why 1 is not the 1 is not the zeros of this polynomial. Now look at one more example, and this is, let's say, a polynomial px is equal to x square minus 2x, x square minus 2x. This is a polynomial which is given to us, and let us find the value of this polynomial at x is equal to 2. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to write the value of x is 2 in this polynomial. So p2 is equal to 2 square minus 2 into 2. So 2 square is 4 minus 2 2s are 4. So 4 minus 4 is 0. So now we can see here clearly that at 2, the value of this polynomial is 0. So we will say that 2 is the zeros of this polynomial. Okay, so what we have understood till now, that the value of x, or the value of the variable for which the value of the given polynomial is 0 is called the zeros of the polynomial. Here the value of this polynomial for x is equal to 1 is not 0 and it is non-zero, which is 10. So we will say that 1 is not the zeros of the polynomial. But now here, for the x is equal to 2, the value of this polynomial is 0. So we call it that 2 is the zeros of the polynomial. Okay. So students, this is all for today. I hope this is going to help you a lot. Thank you very much.